welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my corner of the world. I had made this video before. I recorded it, but it was too long. So I'm hoping that the second attempt will be shorter than 27 minutes. If you see the door behind me open, but you don't see a person, it might be a little cutie patootie, Nico, who is around here somewhere. Okay, this is my best books of 2022 video. Last year I read 58 books, and while I had given a lot of books, quite a few books actually, a lot more books, 5 stars, 4 stars, I have picked the 12 most memorable ones. Wasn't supposed to be 12, but I figured why not? 12 out of 54 is not bad. It doesn't mean that the rest were, 12 out of 58 is not that bad. I do want to mention that because I absolutely hate myself, I will not be holding up any physical copies, except for one of them. You see that blue and yellow one? That's one of them. I will be posting the picture of each book. Alright, without further ado, let's get into it. The first book we have is As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow by Zulfa. Oh my god, this book is so good. Salama Gusem is an 18-year-old pharmacology student when her world turns upside down. The Syrian regime have upped their brutalities on their citizens. Aside from Layla, her sister-in-law, Layla loses her entire family. It's not a spoiler, it literally happens within the first couple of pages. It's mentioned. And instead of dispensing medicines, she is now treating and operating on the wounded. And it's horrific. And all the time she's trying to make a decision of whether or not to leave Syria and honor her brother's last wish, or stay in Syria and help out at the hospital, because there are very few doctors in the city of Old Homes. But she also has her sister-in-law, who is pregnant, to think of. Not only that, she is dealing with mental health issues, which is so sad, it's so horrific, and it just breaks her heart when she delves into the past of what had gone on, but at the same time she meets this boy who she was supposed to meet a year ago. His name is Kenan, or Kenan? I'm not good with Arabic names, I apologize. And this was a chance meeting, and something beautiful blooms between them. You know, in all the ugliness, in all the brutality that they are facing, a small hope grows. A small seed of love blooms. That's so cheesy. And so she has to really decide whether she wants to live in Syria, attempt a normal life with Iran, or leave her country in hopes to find a better life in another country. There are many content warnings, one of them being many child deaths, there is loss of family members, mental health, a whole host of issues. It's heartbreaking, but it is so good. This is the author's debut novel, and she hit it out of the ballpark. Next up, we have Beyond the Wand by Tom Felton. If you don't recognize the name, you may know him as Draco Malfoy. He was one of the characters on the movies or in the books, and he details what his life was like in his childhood, growing up on set, and what his life was like afterwards, especially when he moved to LA. Majority of the book is recounting what his life was like on the Potter set because it was over 10 years of his life. And then towards the last few chapters of the book, he focuses on mental health and his alcohol addiction. But what I love about this book is that it is so gosh darn funny. What was that accent? He writes with such humor, such seriousness, and I am hoping he writes or narrates more books because I would love to hear more of him and see more of him. You should definitely listen to the book on as an audiobook because it is spectacular. It adds another layer to his book. Next up, we have The Book Eaters by Cindy Dean. In the UK, there are 6 book-eating families who are desperately trying to grow their numbers. However, the decrease of male babies, it is difficult to further the family lines. Devon Fairweather has lived a charmed life. She's grown up eating books of princesses and fairy tales while trying to sneak in books about adventures. In this world, each bride gets married twice. So the push is to have more male children. The first marriage, she has a female daughter. And she falls in love with this. And she has such attachment, which is normal, in real life. But in this world, the woman gives birth. The baby is taken away within a few months, like they're weaned off. And she goes away, and the female will go away, recuperate, and within a couple of years, she will get remarried, give birth, and then go away. And then, she lives a comfortable life. But Devon does not want that. She grows attached. And there's Nico. She can hear him. And then you have the second child, Kai, I believe. He is born with a certain power that is considered very dangerous. So he's born a mind eater. And mind eaters are typically very dangerous, and they're used as weapons or killed. But again, she still has to give up the child, so instead, she's on the run with her child. But because he is a mind eater, he's still very dangerous. So they're on the run, hoping to find a cure for her son. Beautiful, beautiful book. I loved it. Content warnings are dead people, murder, drug abuse, and abuse in general. But it's a very good book. Trust me, you will devour this book. Pun intended. Then we have Circe. And the synopsis of this is that in the house of Helios, god of the sun and mightiest of the Titans, a daughter is born. But Circe is a strange child, neither powerful like her father, nor viciously alluring like her mother. Turning to the world of mortals for companionship, she discovers that she does possess power. The power of witchcraft, which can transform rivals into monsters and menace the gods themselves. Circe is known to be one of the first witches, I think probably since Hecate. It is so, so good. Madeline Miller has also written The Song of Achilles and a very, very short book called Galatea. And this woman can write. She can take mythological beings and figures and give them their own agency. In mythology, and even history, women did not have agency. They do not have their own voice. And so Madeline Miller is phenomenal at giving female characters especially their own voice. It's so, so good. The content warnings for this one is assault, um, attempted assault as well, child abuse, and I think that those are the main ones that I can think of at the top of my head. Next up, we have Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. And someone said that this is um, like a criticism of J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, and her transphobic ways. And so this author has written another book or series that involves witchcraft, but it's basically Harry Potter, but adult, and in the non-magical world, and it is freaking brilliant. So here's the synopsis for this one. At the dawn of their adolescence, on the eve of the summer solstice, four young girls, Helen, Leonie, Neve, and Ellie, took the oath to join Her Majesty's Royal Coven, established by Queen Elizabeth I as a covert government department. Now, decades later, the witch community is still reeling from the Civil War, and Helena is now the reigning high priestess of the organization. Yet Helena is the only one of her friend group still enmeshed in the stale bureaucracy of HMRC. Ellie is trying to pretend she's a normal housewife, and Neve has become a country vet, using her powers to heal sick animals. In what Helene perceives as the deepest betrayal, Leonie has defected to start her own, more inclusive and intersectional coven, diaspora. And now Helena has a bigger problem. A young warlock of extraordinary capabilities has been captured by authorities and seems to threaten the very existence of HMRC. With conflicting beliefs over the best course of action, the four friends must decide where their loyalties lie, with preserving tradition or doing what is right. I will say this book is amazing. These characters are totally badass, and Neve is a queen. I absolutely loved her. She's this red-haired Irish witch in Britain, and oh my god. I had the physical book as well as the audiobook, and the audiobook is immaculate. The it's a full range of cast, so each person has their own voice, and I just loved the person who was doing Neve, because she just brought Neve to life, and the accent was chef's kiss. The trigger warnings for this is transphobia, kidnapping, abuse of various kinds, racism, discrimination, and I think that's it for the most part. But definitely the biggest one is transphobia. But the way that this book has handled transphobia, in my opinion, has been done very well. But if you are trans or non-binary and you come across this book, I would very much appreciate your point of view. Again, I am cisgender, I identify as female, and I don't have the same viewpoint of my transgender friends, and that's okay. You know, I love them and I accept them, and I am always open to more viewpoints. That's all. So this, I'm going to conclude this as part 1 over here. Watch out for part 2 coming up next time. I may upload both at the same time or a few days apart, but either ways, yeah, cool. Comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!